So basically the first step is to get your grill off and your bumper off. And to do that, mine's a little bit different because my grill's broken, but it should just pop right off. The only hassle is to get this thing off. And to do that, there's this little clip here. This just raises up, and then you gotta kind of like pry it a little bit and twist. Inside. There we go. The bumper. Okay, so there are clips that are underneath the bumper, like that are underneath the radiator support, that like to give you a really hard time and sometimes break. And I had to cut around this stupid fucking clip because it broke. So yeah. And there's a bolt right there. And it's the same thing on this side. You might not be able to see it because I can't. Because I got this license plate holder in the way. But yeah, it's the same, basically symmetrical on either side where the bolts are. And then you gotta take the fender liner bolts off. And bingo, we have our front bumper off. Okay, now you gotta take the front bumper support bar off. A bolt here. A bolt here. Oh, I'm missing a bolt. Whatever. Bolt here. And a bolt here. And then, like I said, it's symmetrical on the other side. Bolt, 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 bolt. Get the intercooler on. It slides up underneath the bar. There's room for clearance. And then you want to take these two screws out. I believe, I mean, you could use a socket wrench on them. I believe you could use, are they T30? They are T30. So you could use that too. If you have an aftermarket air intake, you're going to need to do some finagling to get that to work correctly. I just angled mine down and kind of excuse me, angled it down and kind of crooked it a little bit. This horn should normally be on the bottom of this bracket, but it doesn't fit there, so you gotta take it and move it up. Just completely like, boop, just put it on the other side. You've got a U-pipe. And basically, that U-pipe comes around here, hooks around, and then you're gonna have another pipe that it's kind of like a short. It's like a short L. And what that pipe does is you want to take the short side, and you're gonna have it connect to that other pipe all the way down there, and then have that come through. This is where a second hand would be nice. And then you've got that one pipe that looks like this. It sits up top here. That fits here on the turbo. This goes up. This is that weird looking coupler that comes in the kit. It looks like it goes from a small to a large. The small end goes on the turbo and the large end. This is a bitch getting on, so if it feels like it's not gonna fit, it will. You just have to you know, make it fit. So anyway, that pipe goes there, snakes up. You've got a fitting here. I really should have took my engine cover off. Fitting here, and a fitting here. It comes with a 90-degree pipe here. You're gonna need to spin your diverter valve, because the pipe goes boop, boop, inlet, and then this pipe this pipe originally ran all the way over here. Just basically take the pipes that came from these two and just hook them back up with what they give you for your diverter valve. This is the fun part. You want to empty this out. Empty all of it out, otherwise you're going to get washer fluid everywhere. This has to come out. There's a bolt right here that has to come out. That's what basically holds this in place. After that, this just slides right up and pulls up. Your side mount intercooler should be right here. That's got to come out. And basically, I believe that's one. Let's take a look. One, two, three, four, five. 5 bolts. I believe they're either 10 or 12 millimeter. I think they're 12. Then there's hose clamps on either end of the inlet and outlet. And this, most important part, your map sensor. Got to take that out. The kit will include new screws to put it in, so don't worry about saving the screws. It is a bitch to get in the pipe. You could use some Vaseline on the map sensor itself, on the outside, to just kind of lube it up. And that's where the map sensor pipe goes. Comes right out here. And like, this pipe is just one pipe. Okay. This was a little bit tricky to get this to fit flush, so that way it didn't interfere with the bumper. You gotta kind of have to shove it towards the intercooler, and you have to shove it up towards the stock rubber hose pipe. Was not happy with how this they didn't include a new pipe for this. You do have to use the stock pipe, but you can see the hose clamp right there. If you shove the pipe up past this, it kind of like flanges out. If you can get it past this flange and towards the in the skinny section, you're golden. You're not going to lose any boost. Just tighten up the hose clamp around the pipe and you'll be fine. This whole section here kind of sits like this in the car. You'll notice it. Right in here, actually. It sits right there, and it comes out and hooks up to the intercooler. You need to get rid of, well, you don't need to get rid of that, but it's nice not to have that extra pipe sitting there doing nothing. So that is 2 bolts there and 2 bolts here on this bracket. Let me see if I can get a little better. Yeah, 2 bolts on that bracket. And then if you can gotta get this bolt off. This was the pain. The side mount intercooler. It goes up in here. This is why I said you have to get rid of it. You have to take the tank out, and it's still not sitting in there properly. That's my fault. There's gonna be 2 bolts right here and right there. Pain in the ass to get to. I believe they're 10mm. You're better off using a wrench to get those off, because they're just awkwardly positioned that you can't really get a socket wrench in there. So once you get that hooked up, the map sensor, I mean, you could have it facing either way. I guess it doesn't really matter. The bolts will look like they won't really line up, but you just gotta trust me on this one. Just don't, if you get one bolt in, don't tighten it down all the way. Leave it loose so there's play in it, and then you gotta kind of like, I don't know, you just gotta feel it out, and then put the other bolt in there, and then you should have enough room. I mean, I had to cut some tape that held cords together, and I believe I would have more room if I had it the other way. But like I said, either way doesn't really matter. Before you put everything back together, double check, make sure there's no boost leaks, and to do that, obviously, get yourself a nice gauge if you don't already